Today we're going to go townhouse shopping, and more specifically we're going to be looking at a very desirable product, something that a lot of people are after these days, and that is of course something of newer age, something that has good living space, and something that isn't over the top expensive a lot of times that you will find if you get into the downtown Vancouver area. So we're going to take a step outside to its surrounding suburbs, some of the most popular ones, and I'm going to show you 3 townhouse units today in this video. And make sure you stay all the way through and check out that last one, because that is one you won't want to miss. It is one that has great value and located in one of the newest, most up and coming, desirable neighborhoods in all of Greater Vancouver that a lot of people are absolutely loving. So make sure you stick around for that, and we're going to break it down, tell you the pros and cons of some of these so that you can get a better idea of what is out there. So without further ado, let's go shopping together. All right, so jumping on the screen now, we're going to be looking at this first unit, which is located in Burnaby. So Burnaby is directly east of Vancouver. It is its neighboring suburb. So let's take a look, and more specifically, this is in Burnaby East. And we're going to outline both the unit and of course we'll go through a bit of the area as well. So as you can see, this is the outside of the unit. It doesn't look like it's the corner unit. I'm assuming it's this one. Of course, this is a townhouse that's listed just under $1.4 million. You can see that it's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath plus den and versatile flex room. New townhouse at Highgate Homes. Some of its features, like we just covered there, and the square footage is 1,536 square feet in its interior. Some of its general features include its central location. Burnaby in general is already a central location, but this is close to a lot of amenities that you'll see later on. It is close to Highgate Village Shopping Center, as well as just minutes away from Metro Town. In this unit, you also have AC, which is great. You have 2 parking spaces, and the strata fee here is $431 a month. What you'll find in Burnaby a lot is that a lot of its newer townhouses these days, they are attached to a larger strata of building. So a lot of times the strata fee will be connected to that because you are paying for more amenities, and sometimes it is upwards of more than $1,000 a month. So this is a purely townhouse project that will of course save you a lot on the strata fee compared to a building. Just something to point out. And then the heating type is baseboard heaters and heat pump. Compared to the other townhouses in this area, in this neighborhood, it is just above the average. And like we said, this is a very new build. It's built last year, so this has definitely not been occupied before. So now let's take a look at some of these photos. Right away, you can see the kitchen. It does have very nice backsplash and under cabinet lighting, which is a good touch. But from what I can see, this looks like it is tucked away as opposed to more of that open concept. From the kitchen, you can see all of your living and dining area. This, of course, is one of the narrow townhomes as opposed to the wider ones, which I'm sure we'll see once we get to the floor plan. But here's one of the rooms, and you do have a bit of a balcony there, which is cool. This is from the back. You do have some yard space, which is nice. Another one of the rooms, and this looks like the flex area, I'm assuming, on the lower level, so whatever you want to turn this into. And again, the tiles that they use look very nice, and the color scheme too. You do have your washer dryer stacked here. I would have liked to see a bit of a space here to put some of your detergent. That is something that could have been nice. And of course here you can see the layout. So like we said, it is the more narrower style townhome as opposed to the wider ones. But I guess looking from here, the kitchen is open. It's not blocked by any wall, but it doesn't have an island. It's not an L-shaped kitchen that a lot of people would like. And then that of course is a very spacious flex space downstairs. Okay, so this is a 4-level home. There's 2 bedrooms on the 2nd level, and your primary bedroom with a private balcony is on the top floor. So this is a pretty cool layout. You can separate it in a pretty interesting way, in the sense that your primary bedroom, where you want your complete privacy, is on the very top floor. So this is definitely a nice space for that. And with some of these units that you'll find elsewhere, they don't have a powder room. So this is definitely, it's a great thing that this one has. Now jumping on to a bit of its location. Like we said, it's located in Burnaby East. And if we zoom in here, you'll see that Edmonds Park is a couple blocks away. That's a very short walk. And it's a beautiful park where you have a few tennis courts, you have your community center, a kids playground area, and just a park for you to walk around, you know, enjoy the weather when it's nice, maybe even set up a bit of a picnic. Right underneath that, not too far away, this is Edmonds SkyTrain Station. Of course, that is probably still maybe a 15-minute walk, so it's not super close, but it is convenient enough where you do have access to that if you need. Kingsway is just a couple blocks away, and Kingsway has a ton of food options, a ton of shopping options. This is a nice area in the sense that you are close to everything. In a bigger picture, if we zoom out, you can see that Burnaby is smack down in the middle, is completely central. And of course, like we mentioned, to the west of that, you're getting into Vancouver. And here you have a bit of a street view. You can see some single family homes there, but this is the townhouse project. All right, so that covers the first property that we're going to look at. And now going to the next one, this one is located in a neighborhood called Burquitlam. So Burquitlam is right at the intersection of Burnaby and Coquitlam. And this one is still a townhouse. It's listed at $1.56 million. And if we go through the description a bit, it is a 3-bed, 3-bath corner unit with 9-foot high ceilings. It has 1,776 square feet. So it's a very spacious townhouse. It is a very convenient location that you're about to see. We're going to, like we did last time, take you a bit on the map. But if we read this, continue reading this, enjoy the convenience of street level access to the main floor. This home is just a 10-minute walk away to the SkyTrain, YMCA, Conwood Park, and all the amenities of Burquitlam. Burquitlam, like we mentioned, it's an up and coming area, and I've made a ton of separate videos covering this that I will link somewhere, so make sure you check that out. If we go further down and check out its general features, this one also has AC, which is great. You have 1 parking as opposed to 2 from the last one. And the strata fee here is $379 a month. Building heating type is forced air, and compared to the average townhouse price in the area, this is listed quite a bit above the average of $1.25 million. And the reason for that, of course, is because of the square footage, the space that you're going to get, and the fact that it is a corner unit. A lot of townhomes will be like the last one we looked at, a bit more narrow, and you do find a lot of those in this area for sure. But this one, as you're going to see, it has a lot of square footage, very open space. So the price resembles some of those benefits that you're getting. And very similar to the last unit, this is built in 2023, so also very new. We're going to get into the map in a second, but first let's check out the photos. All right, so this is the view from the street. Right away, you can tell that this is a pretty large unit. You have your stairs leading up to your front door, a bit of a front porch area. So let's keep going. So this is the townhouse complex, and I believe this is Cottonwood, which we will get to in a second once we jump on the map. But so going in, they do have quite a few things, but we can still get a good sense of the space. So this is the L-shaped kitchen with the island, which a lot of people like. And then you have a bit of a dining area before you get to your living room. And this one has also a lighter color scheme and under cabinet lighting. And I'm seeing a few slots here where you're able to set up some chairs here, and maybe this space is perfect for having breakfast, for your kids to have a bit of a snack, or whatever you want to use the island for. Oh, and as you can see over there, there's a bit of wood, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Right when we get on the map, there are a ton of things happening to this area that you definitely want to know, but let's continue going. You have your gas cooktop, and right there, that's a pretty good living space. It is more open. The kitchen oversees the dining and living area, and what you'll see a lot is people set up their couch like it is here and set up their TV. Of course, this is blocking a bit of it, but you can use a bit of your imagination. It looks like the powder room and one of the bedrooms upstairs. Too bad you can't catch the whole view, but Burquitlam is a beautiful area, another up and coming area. Nice, so you do get some good windows for natural light to come in, and again, sticking to the same light color scheme throughout the entire townhouse. This is the primary bedroom, I'm assuming. It looks very spacious. You have your own little balcony area here as well, and large windows, so I'm sure this unit is going to get a lot of natural light. You have your stacked washer and dryer here in this one, located, it looks like it's on the top floor, and I'm assuming this is your garage, but they of course they use this space to store most of their stuff. And this is a cool touch. You don't see this that often for a townhouse, is having a front porch area. Here you can sit down, enjoy your morning cup of coffee, or just to read up on some of the news or whatever is going on. All right, nice. So if we jump on the map and we start zoomed out so you can get an idea of where this is compared to the last one. So the last one was down here somewhere in Burnaby East, and of course Vancouver is there. So this is around maybe a 15-minute drive from that last townhouse that we looked at, further east into Burquitlam, getting into the Coquitlam area. And what I want to mention is the street that you're on and its general little block over here, because Burquitlam, like we said, they are a growing area neighborhood. They have a ton of new developments, so many high rises that are coming in, but a lot of that is coming right in this intersection of Como Lake and Clark, and also just along Clark in general. So once you get further in, a few blocks down, you get a bit more of a quieter living area. Cottonwood Avenue in specific, you have a lot of single family homes right down here before you get to the townhouse project. And then on the other side here are a bunch of wood frame condo projects. Now, if you're interested in a townhouse unit similar to something like we're covering today, or you're interested in looking for a condo or a single family home, whatever the case may be, make sure you reach out to us. I will leave my contact information right up there on the screen, as well as down in the description. We have people calling us all the time about helping them with their move, and we would love to be a resource, to be a conduit of information, of service for you. So make sure you reach out to us and we will get the ball rolling. Now back to this area. Like we said, this is a quieter area and you're not going to see high rises going east of this. There are high rises right on Clark and getting into North Road, but once you get in here, like we said, it's wood frame, it's single family, it's townhomes, and you have a park over here. And from my understanding, what I know, they are planning in their official community plan to get a larger park space right off of this Cottonwood area. So I'm assuming somewhere close to the already there Cottonwood Park. They might just do a bit of an extension. That about covers this Burquitlam area. Like I said, I do have a lot of videos that I will link somewhere up there. So if you are interested, definitely check that out, including one of the condo units. I did do a tour of a condo unit right there on Cottonwood. But now let's move on to the third and last unit that we wanted to cover, which is in Coquitlam on Mitchell Street. So let's first give you a quick idea on the map before we talk more about this area. But like we said, this townhouse has a lot of value, and I'll explain to you why. But first, on the map, you can see, if we zoom out, this is in a popular neighborhood, which I'll get all into, called Burke Mountain. If we go further west, we were down here, then we were in Burquitlam. So this is quite a bit further east, close to almost a 50-minute drive to Vancouver, and probably a 35 minute drive to Burnaby. But we'll get more on that in just a second. Let's go take a look at the actual townhouse unit. So this one is listed at just under $1.2 million. And right off the bat, you can see it has 1,600 square feet. So compared to the other two, you're going to get more bang for your buck in Coquitlam. And that's the general rule of thumb, is the further away you go from Vancouver, prices tend to be a little bit cheaper. So if we take a look at the description, this is Forrester by Townline, a Whistler-inspired community nestled in the heart of Burke Mountain. It's an end unit that sits next to a green belt, has 1,600 square feet open concept with 3 bedroom, 3 bath, and modern finishes throughout. And you can see additional highlights include side-by-side EV-ready parking and exclusive access to the Canopy Club. So let's scroll further down to look at some of its features. The amenities of this project includes an exercise center as well as a recreation center. You have 2 parking spaces, and compared to the other ones, which their parking is in an underground lot, this one you have parking right in your unit. That is a big plus for a lot of people. They're looking for their own personal parking spot. So that is one right there. The maintenance fee on this is $357 a month. And if we go further down, you'll see building heat type is baseboard heaters, and electric. And compared to other townhouse options in this neighborhood, this is right there at the average, slightly below at $1.2 million. And this is built in 2021. So someone has lived in here, but still very new, and we'll see if it's in a good condition or not. So jumping onto the pictures, you can see that it is beautifully staged. This is, again, your L-shaped kitchen with a good sized island here. They put some chairs here. You can see it fits 3, a bit of extra storage down here. And if we keep going, again, you get the under cabinet lighting, plenty of cabinet space. This would be your formal dining area, and right there would be your living area. So what I really like about this, and a lot of people are looking for this right now specifically, is that open concept living. This is 1,600 plus square feet, and this main level here, you have your kitchen, dining, and living all within this area. And again, compared to that first townhouse we looked at, which is a bit more on the narrow, longer side, this one is wider, and it helps the unit feel larger and more open. I also really like these light fixtures that they got over here. It's a great living space. You have this is a huge couch, and still your TV over there, you have plenty of space. And large windows here that you can kind of see the sun coming in, so I'm assuming you can get some pretty good natural light here. And like I said in the beginning, this is an end unit, so you're only sharing a wall on one side. That is another plus. We keep going. Now we get upstairs to the bedrooms. This is the primary bathroom. You have under cabinet lighting again. You have a bathtub, double sink. You have a bathtub and a standing shower, which is great. Some of the other bedrooms here, and that's nice. On the other ones that we looked at, the washer dryer is stacked, so this one is side by side, and you have definitely good amount of space up here to put your detergent. You can fold some clothes here, hang some clothes, so this is definitely a perk. And all three of these have that balcony area. This is maybe just big enough for you to, you know, put a table, set up some chairs so you can have a barbecue outside. And right there beside this would be the green belt. So definitely very quiet. You won't have any noise coming from this side. It's your front unit, and this looks like visitor parking because the parking lot is entering on the other side. Maybe it'll show. So that's the front. And yep, is on the back end, and then the front of the house is on the other side. So as you can see, this is the floor plan. Very more of a square as opposed to a longer rectangle. So this is your very open concept floor plan. You have 3 of your bedrooms upstairs and your garage and a bit of a foyer downstairs. Now if we jump on the map, like we said, it is located on Burke Mountain, and once again I made a lot of videos covering Burke Mountain, including one of a new construction project that is a bit further up. I'm going to locate it for you right over Mitchell, right here, right on Sheffield. This is a project called Ridgewood, which is built by Polygon, and that one actually they released their first phase with 22 units and is sold out within 2 days of launching. So even though we might be in a bit of a slower market, you can see that the good products that are priced right are still flying off the shelf. And all along this area, you have a bunch of townhouse options. Of course, this is Forester by Townline, and then further up, once you get over here, there's a townhouse project by Polygon, and right in this slot here, there's another project called Terrain by Townline, which is currently pre-selling, set to complete in roughly 2027 or 2028. Right now, you can just see a huge hole in the ground. And again, if you are interested in any of these units, make sure you don't hesitate to reach out to me. I would love to provide any information, to be a resource so that you are able to find the best fitting home for you and your family. If we zoom out a little bit, you can see that this is definitely in a quiet neighborhood. The main street here are David and Coast Meridian. So you're tucked in there. Beside you to the east, there's not much going on right now. There's a bunch of trees, nothing built yet. Maybe they'll do that in the future. And this whole area is townhouse and single family homes. So it is definitely a very family friendly, family oriented neighborhood. That's Burke Mountain in general. And if you want to get you to your daily amenities, this will be a little bit less convenient compared to something that we looked at, for example, in Burquitlam or in Burnaby. This you'll definitely need to drive. This will take maybe around 10 to 12 minutes to Coquitlam Center over here, or if you want to get to Costco and that plaza in Port Coquitlam, it's roughly a 10-minute drive down there as well to just past Dominion over here. One thing to keep in mind is that, like we said, Burke Mountain is one of the fastest growing, most highly sought after neighborhoods right now, and they are building a ton of new homes, but on top of that, they're building new amenities. They have a brand new school that's coming, that's set to be complete in 2027. And they also have a gigantic community area where there'll be a lot of commercial space. You'll have your shopping, you'll have your community center. So that is all on its way. So it's exciting for everyone that's already a resident here and the people that are wanting to move here, because maybe right now you have to go through another 2-3 years of driving a little bit further to get to your daily needs, daily amenities. But if you are able to stick through that, in 2-3 years, you'll have everything right over here, and it's going to be brand new. So a lot of people are definitely attracted to that. There you have it, guys. Thank you for sticking around. Now, if you want to learn more about these communities, these neighborhoods that we covered, I'm going to link a playlist to all my other videos where I go through in depth these areas, including Coquitlam and Burnaby, for you to check out, as well as some of the tours of similar projects that we have covered on this channel. And I will link that somewhere to the right or to the left. And once again, if you have any questions, you're looking for any additional information, if you need help moving to or in Metro Vancouver, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, I will have my contact information right up here as well as down in the description. Now, once again, thank you guys for sticking around. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.